Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3.
Is protected by one of Savathun's toughest warriors. It's guarding something. Something you can use like you use Sagira's shell. But the only way in is through some old canals, which means we need a boat. Leave that part to me. That's our guy, the one guarding the temple. What's he doing away from his post? This could be our chance.
Look, back there. The path is unblocked.
There's your ride. You just hop on and I'll handle the rest. These weird hive controls and how does this... Ah! There it is. Here we go! Boat's moving!
Why did we stop?
I don't know. I didn't expect this. Just a little hiccup. You can get that barrier down, right? Sure you can.
Finch, we're stuck again.
Seriously, but I did the thing. It's just this hive tech. It's so archaic. Just give me a sec. Got it. Okay, we're getting close to the swamp now. Temple's not far from here.
You said this is a temple to Oryx?
Yeah, that's right. Savathun's brother. The Taken King himself. We've killed each other about 1,000,000 times over, but she dedicated a temple to him. It's funny how that works. Now be careful here. Something happened to this place. It's overgrown with darkness.
I can sense light here, though. I just can't see it. Maybe there's a safe path through. Like we're all clear, Finch. We're heading in.
Careful. The knight guarding this place? He's an old rival of Oryx, and he's no joke. Pretty funny that Savathun has him guarding Oryx's temple, though.
Oh well, live and learn, I suppose. That's 4 shots. Good shots. Alright, let's run another one. So if anyone's tuning in or watches this later on down the line, if this video remains public, just doing a test stream just to sort of check video and audio sort of output. Also, with Destiny 2's Revenant episode just around the corner, the release of the new dungeon, or upcoming dungeon, Vesper's Host, is doing a contest mode, which is essentially, for those who are unaware, is essentially, imagine sort of like a power cap, where effectively you are limited in sort of outgoing damage that you deal, and incoming damage is greatly increased, thus making the encounter have a massive sort of difficulty spike that you have to sort of spec into, and so it just adds just an extra layer of challenge. Usually comes about when there's sort of a new raid, sort of 48 hours, and then after 48 hours, then like the normal difficulties sort of become available for all players, and they've just decided to do it for a dungeon for the first time, so that should be interesting. So yeah, just testing some streaming. I don't know about many of you, but if any of you happen to join a PlayStation or PlayStation 5, for example, I for one have run into a bunch of errors trying to get the actual thing to live stream, and I only just managed to get around some of the like verifying stuff with going live streaming. I'm kind of amazed I didn't realize it, but done a bit of digging into it, and it seems that you have to effectively go live or on a desktop, or I think maybe a smartphone. I think more desktops probably suited to, like, click on your YouTube account and select, go live streaming from there, and then you get presented with like a, hey, you've requested to live stream, and you'll be able to do it in 24 hours. And for whatever reason, my console was stuck in a sort of a limbo state where it was just like, oh, it's been verified. No, it hasn't been verified. I'm like, well, which one is it then? So thankfully, after accessing YouTube with the account on desktop, it's sort of just almost like flip the switch and away we go. Here we are. We're live streaming directly from the console. I hope there's some visuals and audio coming through. That would be very very embarrassing. But then again, it is a test stream, and hopefully everything's coming through loud and clear. If this video does stay up as public, and you do end up sort of having this on in the background, thank you for watching in the future. I hope to be in a position where I can do these little sort of live streams for some of the games that I'm playing. I think Destiny 2 is one that I kind of have played quite a lot over the years. It's been there since sort of the beginning, back 10 years ago now. Gosh, yes, 2014. Sort of the beginning conceptions of Destiny 1, all the way to here we are in Destiny 2, and just had a bit of a big story beat, climactic sort of battle that's been going on. I won't go into too much of it, because ultimately if there's players that have not yet played the Final Shape expansion, I don't want to sort of give too much away, but it was a very enjoyable expansion, and there's a lot of nostalgia in there for returning players, and with the sort of, let's say, conclusion of the expansion story, there is, in any sort of life service game, particularly notoriously in Destiny, there are these sort of threads of stories that are expanding upon, almost like a somewhat spin-off, shall we say, of the elements that have been linked into the expansion. So really cool stuff, and credit to the Destiny 2 dev team and stuff. You know, they've gone through thick and thin over the last few years with sadly multiple series of layoffs and losing jobs and losing livelihoods and stuff. And yeah, I mean, realistically speaking, if you know played Destiny before, you know, there's a great number of devs there that put a lot of hard work into the game and effectively bring some great storytelling, some great combat gameplay, and you know, it's a little bit heartbreaking that you see sort of the stories of, you know, developers not, you know, getting sort of laid off and things, because what's here is a really good, fun experience, designed to be played either solo or co-op with friends or with other players. Just a lot to sink into. Is it a bit overwhelming when you're starting out for the first time? Absolutely. There's I think you need sometimes you need an encyclopedia to access some of the information and things, but I think that's what's. Then, you know, there's sort of there's two sides to that coin. You know, yes, it is unfortunately a somewhat of a overwhelming experience to sort of get into, but my gosh, once you are into the core of the game, you know, and you go into those build counting elements, you really can start to see where the game shines, and ultimately where there's quite a lot of replayability. And a lot of the sort of the aspirational content of sort of the raids and dungeons, you know, they get a lot of they're very unique and they provide their own set of challenges. So definitely, if you've ever been on the fence of trying out this, you know, it's definitely worth checking out. You know, it says free to play. Oh no, I say honestly the best policy in my book. You know, it is realistically free to try. Let's be real here. Because you've got paid expansions and things in between. You've got, you know, sort of season pass and the usual sort of stuff with that. That's the second time I've screwed up with a whole shot thinking I could hit them for shift, and I've been sadly mistaken. And ultimately, you know, there's just a lot of good content here. There's some stuff buried behind some menus and stuff, but I think, you know, I'm optimistic about the future of this game. You know, people say, okay, it's 10 years, it's done, it's over. But I mean, it's being rather bushy. It's a moneymaker for the devs, for the development team, and you know, they create some really cool experiences that ultimately get players playing consistently or even returning. sort of do scripts or anything like that. This is just, like I said, if you are tuning in, it is just watching this in the future. This is just primarily a test stream. Just sort of let's see how it goes type of experience. You know, if you're here and you return to one of these videos in the future, thank you for it. It means a lot to take the time out of your day. You know, you could be anywhere in the world. You could be relaxing at home. You could be out and about, daily commute to work or something, whatever. But the fact that you just decided to click on this video, for even if it's a fraction, even if for a minute or two, or maybe it's the whole thing, very appreciative of that. Thank you very much for just stopping by. It means quite a lot. Thank you. What I don't appreciate is this tormentor. On the harder difficulties, can be quite challenging, to say the least. And he's decided to go to the floor. These eyes on hard difficulties can be nice to watch. You got to usually have one person sort of monitoring them. Although this warlock here with Song of Flame is again for those who may not be familiar with Destiny, you get these sort of super ultimate abilities that you build up basically by eliminating enemies and using abilities, and then you get a super bar, which you can see on my screen is that yellow bar, and you pop that and it pops to like an ultimate ability. And for the warlocks, for all the classes, there's multiple supers, and one of them for the warlock is almost like a solar sort of damage reduction, but then like an overcharged sort of ability span. For me, it's a tether. It gives the team a damage reduction. Sorry, I rephrase that. The warlock solar Song of Flame gives damage reduction. The tether provides a debuff to the boss, thus allowing the outgoing damage of all players to increase. I think I want to say 30%. So when you pop that tether, it basically buffs everybody's damage by 30% for approximately 10 to 15 seconds. Could be a little more, best. Yeah, it's just a really nice sort of super.
Guardian, you have my thanks.
So lots of great builds,
especially for continuing to keep the
cool
EDZ
thing with
safe
Destiny.
amongst all the hubbub going on so far from home.
Home is where the taken are, eh?
So we're just going to run some strikes here, just to sort of, again, just sort of test the stream out here. We're not, I haven't really set like an end time on how long this runs for. This is just sort of like just see how the video is going and the audio is going, really. So far, it seems good. I always wanted to try live streaming, to be honest. I think there's a real cool art to it, you know. It seems, I think for a lot of people it seems like a simple thing to do, but there's so much to it. It's I mean, I used to work in the film and TV sector before COVID, and I was sort of working as a as a video editor, and ultimately like just the planning and preparation that went into sort of like, okay, what are we making? How long does it need to be? Where is a piece of work ending up? Is it ending up on social media? Is it ending up on TV? Is it ending up in an advert? Effectively, you know, okay, who's the target audience? What do you want to be the most impactful thing about the piece? And I feel like, you know, that's kind of, there's a lot of transferable traits, I think, with live streaming. You know, at the end of the day, I think one of the most important things that I've always learned is that, you know, particularly in the sort of the digital age of technology and smartphones and things, is that, you know, a lot of people now, when they scroll on their phones or things like that, you know, it's like a couple of seconds. It's a couple of seconds, and effectively, I think one of the things that I remember is that if you're ever doing advertising or you've got a piece of content to show, I think quite a lot of the time it's, you know, if you can capture people's attention in 5 seconds, then I think you're on to something. Because generally speaking, I think statistically, it's, you know, if you're scrolling on your phone and you see a video, you probably only view that for maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and you've obviously made your mind up whether or not you're going to watch this going forward or not. So definitely sort of there's a lot of sort of transferable sort of traits and things. And that's kind of the cool thing of it, you know. It's like I have no sort of beautification or no sort of plans just at this moment in time to sort of go for sort of full send the live streaming element. At the end of the day, we want to make sure the technology works, hence doing this stream. But effectively, you know, there's always an opportunity to have a bit of fun with it. I mean, heck, you know, I think sure, production and things can obviously be a tune over. I honestly thought that was going to be me then. I was going to get killed by the things. Production and elements can be a tune over time, but I think that it really comes down to sort of the art of like that, just the planning, because you can only plan for so much. And then it comes from again, if you are just tuning in, this is again strictly just a test stream, ultimately just to see if audio and video is coming. Just hoping that sometime in the near foreseeable future we can get streams going. Stopping in for a minute or two, stopping in for a bit of time. Appreciate it, as always. It's earlier, it's appreciative that just to take a moment out of your day, stop by is more than enough for me, and yeah, just got some content in the background. I am not playing very well. I've died 4 times already in the last couple of runs, so that's been fun. But we're just there's no sort of set schedule to this at the moment. We're just running a couple of Destiny 2 strikes, really just to see if it all holds up. I think the general sort of schedule with this, or if all sort of things go okay and the audio visuals hold up, is just aiming for a potential live stream for the upcoming Destiny 2 dungeon, which is scheduled on Friday the 11th of October, where there's a contest mode. For those who don't know, Destiny 2 does a contest mode, which is basically a sort of difficulty spike that lasts for 48 hours. Effectively, your outgoing damage is significantly reduced, and your incoming damage is significantly increased, thus meaning you have to sort of tackle a somewhat of a challenge regarding the content, so more survivability than sort of raw damage, and it becomes a sort of a push and pull, a tug of war with the game's mechanics and ultimately the enemy density and things to try and stay above that and push through and complete the encounter. So looking forward to it. The dungeon content, the new dungeon on the 11th, we don't know anything about it. It's completely random for those unaware. Yeah, it's going to be a cool little cool experience. And say the idea with this is just to sort of see if all the cogs are working, the audio visual, and see if we've got something going here. Hey Cosmos, I'll try and sort that out for you, bear with me. Address it after the test stream. I think unlimited supplies listening to you. Okay, copy that. How about now? Are we coming through a little bit better? Or do we need to drop down the game audio a bit more? After the test, unfortunately. That's still a bit live. Copy that. Let's try that. I can drop it further if needs be. Appreciate the advice. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now's your moment, young wolf.
Again, I
Invite the enemy to meet their
giving this live stream a bit of a go. I'm not familiar, I admit, with YouTube and stuff. I'm just sort of testing the waters, as they say. So yeah, hope to be in a position perhaps on Friday the 11th next week where I can just push the live button and do some dungeon gameplay for the new seasonal dungeon. Fingers crossed. Appreciate the advice though with the audio and stuff, because at the end of the day, I would think I'm going in a bit blind, to be honest, with the YouTube live streaming. I've always wanted to give it a go. You know, so hopefully the gameplay's okay. I will admit I died a couple of times quite silly earlier on this evening here in the UK. Got it. Got it. Make a note of that. Otherwise I'll forget it. I blame my dyslexia dyspraxia on that one. If I don't write it down, I'll forget it.
Nicely done, Guardian. I don't know about you, but this just feels routine now. Who would have thought Cosmodrome sweeps and decoding engrams would bring the same level of excitement?
I wouldn't,
stuff.
though your lack of professionalism continues to amaze me.
Like this shader. That looks nice. Lovely. I'm going to take a screenshot of these numbers here. There we go. Just keep on going for a little bit longer. You play any Destiny 2 Cosmos? Launch. Yeah, I agree. I've been trying to sort of just do a lot of Sherpas and things with sort of the raids and stuff, and then I was planning on playing Remnant 2, I think, yes, Remnant 2's new content for a bit, just in the sort of like the final week or two of Destiny 2 season.
It'd be a shame to lose him.
And then I looked at my seasonal challenges when I did a Sherpa the other day, and I was like, I'm only like four challenges away from like 5,000 bright dust. I was like, oh, come on, man. I was like, I might as well do it. I was like, oh, just pull me back in. But no, I agree. I understand completely where you're coming from there. I just feel like with the episode stuff, it's like I mean, let's be real, they can call it honesty's the best policy in my book. They can call it episodes all they like, but I don't know if you saw the live stream on the other day. I think a few of the developers were saying like, oh, we're on, seasons, on seasons. I was like, yeah, it's just basically seasons in disguise. It's like I don't think much has changed, to be fair. I will admit I'm optimistic. I'm somewhat optimistic for the future of the game. You know, I know if they finished it off with Final Shape and that was it, you know, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be quite, you know, satisfied. But yeah, it's been a rocky road of highs and lows. Yeah, I think you know the new season looks pretty good. The whole vampire theme and stuff looks pretty good. I will admit I do like the element of being able to sort of pursue the weapons attunement to crafting. I don't mind the crafting every now and again. I think it's okay to a certain degree with sort of some of the raids and stuff, but I will admit, like, I don't know about you, but when Into the Light came out before Final Shape, there was an element of that where I was like going after weapons, and I was like, I don't think I've ever had this sort of like rush of like knowing that there's a high chance I can get a good get a weapon. Sure, the weapon's probably random roll, but then it's like, hey, what if it drops a double perk? What if it gives me a god roll? And oh, you can tell me I can enhance it as well. I was like, where do I sign up? Like that just felt really, really cool, and there was a thrill to chase the loot again for a moment in time. So I do like the fact that they're sort of exploring that a bit further with the new season, because I just feel it'll add a bit more longevity to the game here and there. It'll keep people engaged with the content. I mean, ultimately, you know, they can sort of dabble with it a bit, but I will admit I do miss parts of the old sort of Destiny stuff where it's like, you know, you go after a weapon and then it's like a, you know, random roll, and then you get it and it's like, I got the roll I want, and sort of thing. It's really, really, really cool. You know, you get that little rush and things, and yeah, I feel like the raids are fun, dungeons are fun, and they're enjoyable and they're great to teach. But once you get those crafted patterns, it's like, what do I do now? And I'll admit, I've been in that position. Yeah, shinies. It was just sort of you running the onslaught for a couple of times, and then you just literally hear someone in your fire team like gasp as if they've just had the wind taken out of their sails, and you just know it's like, you got a shiny, didn't you? And it's like, but you didn't just get any shiny, did you? You just got one that you really wanted, didn't you? It's just sort of like it's like how to say you got a good roll without saying you got a good roll or a god roll. It's just yeah, those moments are pretty fun. Yeah, it's that. I think it's that feeling of back in the old in Destiny, the Destiny 1. It was like, you know, when you got that exotic, and you're like, oh, I got an exotic. What is it? Oh, I got you know, something like, I got, you know, icebreaker or, you know, whatever, you know, sort of thing. Or you know, when the whole quest for back in Destiny 1, it was sort of, you know, when you had that, you had to be in the fire teams in each class to get the outbreak sort of code to work, if I'm not mistaken. And it was just trying, like, it was like a secret within a secret and stuff. Yeah, baby. Yeah, it's just it's a nice sort of, it's a nice gameplay loop, to be fair. I wish they would do more stuff with that, and I'm glad they're doing it with the. I really am glad they're taking the sort of the stuff they learned with Into the Light seriously, because I mean. You know, funny enough, I mean, I wasn't expecting to get a response or anything like that. It's the world, it's the internet. At the end of the day, it's filled with everybody's comments and stuff. I just casually sort of messaged the D2 account, the dev team account. And I thought, well, if I get a response, great. If I don't get a response, then so be it. And I messaged about 48 hours before that live stream. I said, you know, is there any chance to put the attunement stuff in the live game going forward? Fortunately, then the live stream turned up, and I was like, yep, that's all I needed. That's all I needed to see. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm here. Like I'll be playing Destiny probably until the cows come home. Like, but effectively, it's nice to know that they're taking feedback on board. When I say that, I feel like I'm going to kill this player here by like, ooh, we're reviving. Look at that. There we go. I thought he was going to tie to the lightning there. I've done that one too many times in a GM run, and it's not been pretty. Live and learn, as they say. I obviously thought I killed him there with that chance. Oh, it's the urge, isn't it? Like it's like if you play Titan or something, you see a cursed roll, you just want to punch everything because you're a Titan, and it's like, oh, but I gotta punch it, and then you kind of hope that damage resistance kicks in so you stay alive. I've got to sort out a few builds for the dungeon run though, to be fair. I've got a couple of builds that have served me well on Hunter. I do play Hunter a lot. I kind of, I say Hunter main, I think is the term. I never really strive too far away from the classic sort of Orpheus rig Hunter, because I just feel I'm a big believer on the whole team aspect, and like I've had some ups and downs with sort of like the combat in this game, in the sense that, you know, I'll play a bit of PvP and stuff, and some days I'll have good days like everyone, some days I'll have really bad days, more bad days than good days when it comes to PvP, and I'll just keep my head above the water with it sometimes. But in PvE environments, it's like, okay, what can I do to support the team and ultimately provide survivability? So, I mean, I'm Trapper's Ambush all the way. Are you planning on the dungeon race? I am indeed, yes. I am indeed. Whether or not we get into sort of a high sort of position, I'm not holding my breath on that. Let's be real. But I'm gonna give it a go. I've got a group of individuals who are up for it. Ideally, I like to use this concept here with the live stream just to record it and ultimately, you know, if people want to swing by, say hello, watch it for a few minutes, etc., by all means, fantastic. Taking a moment out of your day is more than enough for me, and I'm grateful for that. Grateful for you actually just stopping by. You know, I just popped this on this evening here in the UK. It's like sort of just gone 11 o'clock in the evening, 11 p.m. I just thought, give it a whirl, see how it is, run a couple of strikes and stuff, see if I can get some functioning video and audio. And yeah, no, I'm hoping to run the dungeon race. Ideally, I've booked off work and everything. I'm purposely working in advance a couple of hours and things over the next few days, just to sort of be absolutely categorically confirmed that I'm running that dungeon. There's nobody that can stop me from not attempting it. Work was like, oh, you're working Thursday to Saturdays for my current employment. It's like, Destiny's got a dungeon on the Friday. It's like, well, I better work those hours way in advance. Straight away with work. Hey, I've got some family commitments I've got. Yeah. I want to work these hours straight away. Yeah. Little do they know I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go try and save the world artificially with space combat. Things I do for this game. But are you looking to run it as well? You feeling good about it? Are you looking for a team or anything? Or have you got something locked down? I've worked. The disadvantages, the advantages and disadvantages of work. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I would be to be honest, I'd be working as well. Literally, I'm legally contracted to work Thursday to Saturdays for my current employment, and it's like the dungeon would have effectively come out, and there would have been sort of 3 or 4 hours where I would have been in work, and I'm just like, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to have a stab at the dungeon, I kind of want to give yourself maximize the amount of time with it, and yeah. Well, I'm hoping that you get a chance to run it, and I hope you enjoy it. I mean, the last end I thought was pretty good. The whole sort of almost had a sort of a it almost had an element of sort of Dungeons and Dragons and sort of a bit of a Dark Souls vibe to it. I think, you know, I think it was really kind of, you know, very creative, very out of the box. Not something I would associate with Destiny, sort of that type of environment, but they made it work. It was good. It was a good bit of fun. I think I'm looking forward to the new dungeon, and I think that, you know, they've teased it with the artwork, haven't they? They've got like sort of like I've done a little bit of lore, but not much. I'm no expert here, so you can correct me if I'm wrong on this one. But I think from a couple of people that I sort of share sort of this a Discord where I do this sort of Sherpas and things, there was conversations of like, well, it looks like a Vex portal. It looks like it's on the Tangle Shore. Looks like it could be Venus, etc. I'm just thinking to myself, well, I mean, we gotta go speak to the spider. Apparently, if you in one of the latest TWABs, it was like, go speak to the spider to get the quest. I thought, well, okay, spider's probably involved then in some capacity. So I saw sort of those ropes in the artwork that looked like Tangle Shore, and I thought, well, it's probably Tangle Shore maybe. But then you never know with dungeons these days. And you just look at the raids and stuff. One moment you're on Earth, and the next minute you're in a space station or something, deep stone crypt. Yeah, no, I think it'll be really good fun, and yeah, I just hope to be in a position that I can just pop this stream on with audio levels being okay, and just sort of just have a you know, somewhere that it can just be sort of viewed, or if I do okay or if I do terrible. You know, if we get to sort of hour 6, well, I hope it. But if we get to hour 6 or 7, and I've shot myself with a grenade launcher in the face, then you know, it hasn't gone all downhill yet. Gosh, the amount of times I use a GL sometimes, and I just start firing it. It's once you get into that bait and switch combo, you feel like you're unstoppable. Only until a subjugator in the latest exotic mission throws a stasis crystal right in front of you, and then you're like, ah, you got me. Happened to me yesterday on an encore run for Sherpa. I was using bait and switch on the GL, and I thought I was home and dry. There I was, boss's health was a quarter left. I started firing away with a GL, and I was about 6 shots left, and boom. Yeah, man, yeah, definitely, yeah, swing by. It'll be, I'm not sure what the time zone here. It'll be. I'm not sure if again. Apologies, I haven't asked. I'm not sure what part of the world you're tuning in from, but it'll most likely be. Well, I think the dungeon is. I want to say goes live at reset. So that will probably be sort of here in the UK. I want to say 6 p.m. Ultimately, I'm actually. I worked so much that I actually ended up working later than expected the last few weeks. So I'm literally ready to go in on Friday and go, oh, Canada, nice. I've got a couple of days of work where I'm working a few days on Monday, which like I say, I'm contracted to work Thursday, Saturdays, but I'm working a couple of hours this Monday to not work basically Saturday, and effectively. I'm ready to go, where I'm hoping that I can just go in on Friday to work. I'm actually working from home. And be, no, customer service, unfortunately. It pays alright, it pays alright. I used to work in film and TV in the UK for a couple of years before COVID as a video editor, audio editor. So like audio and music was kind of my jam. I think that's what keeps me drawing back to Destiny, to be honest, is like the audio is just kind of like done. I always find like an appreciation where like you do an encounter in Destiny, and just no matter without fail, when you finish a gunfight, the music just abruptly stops and it just feels so natural, which I find absolutely like crazy that it just like they programmed it for that. So I have a very much respect for like the audio team that does the whole Destiny thing, music and audio team. I know, yeah. I was so gutted. I was literally heartbroken when I heard that news. I was like, how the guy's been with them since like the Halo days, I believe, and ultimately it's just sort of like, you know, just sort of like crazy that they've like sort of. Yeah, I'd like to think that I personally, I would never wanted him to go. Personally, I think he's so there. He's so on the pulse of what the music is and what that team does. I suppose going forward, I can only assume that they've basically kind of, they've got the samples of stuff, and they've basically said to any people that are being contracted in, they've gone, look, here's the sound, here's the essence of the music, go make it work. Because I want to say one of the guys that worked on the Gun to Destiny, when I listened to Deep Stone, DSC's that music is just wow. Like it just, no matter how many times I run that raid, it's just like there's those moments where if you're doing Sherpas, I just literally say to everyone, turn your music up, because you do not want to you just don't want to miss this next part. And yeah, it's just really well done. Like I think all the music in Destiny is really good. The raids obviously just bring it home even further, but I think you can't beat, like, I mean, they're all very good, but I think if I had to sort of pin down a few, I think probably the Last Wish stuff is just like leaps and bounds, just sort of like, go fight a dragon. I'm like, okay, I'll go slay a space dragon. All right, let's do it. And it's just like really cool. But then, like on the flip side, then you've got like even like the newer one, Salvation's Edge. I think that's so well done, because I know there was a lot of people that were saying like, oh, I really want it to be like epic and chaos and stuff, and there's an element of that in there. But I think if the broader sort of scope of the music for Salvation's Edge as a raid throughout the whole sequence is you've got that push and pull mechanic, like throughout the whole raid of Witness trying to do something, the Guardian's trying to stop it, Witness trying to do something again, Guardian's trying to stop it. And it's like, I always look at the hands of the Witness and feel like in those encounters he's like I know we've just gone through it with an episode with the Maya Sundaresh, but I feel like the Witness in Salvation's Edge was a conductor trying to manipulate things, and we were there like, we'll just pull that piece out of place and you've got to fix it and stuff. And I remember seeing a comment on a YouTube video for one of the soundtracks, and I thought it summed it up pretty quickly, pretty well actually. Sorry, it was the Witness is trying to enact the final shape. The Guardians are trying to stop it. We get that, but it was the fact that when that final stand kicks in and you've got that massive crash of like climactic sort of orchestra kicking in, it doesn't have to be like Encounter 4 is philosophical. You understand the meaning behind it. yeah. Where does the shape go? It goes in the square hole. God. That Verity was really fun. I think I'll admit dissecting is not my strongest point. I have to cheat sheet up when I do that, I will admit. So getting through the encounter is pretty seamless with the cheat sheet for me personally. But I do like the whole essence behind it, and I think that I just love the fact that the Raid and Dungeons team were thinking outside of the box. Like, what if the Witness traps you? What if, okay, then you've got to use your wait, you got to use your camera? Tell another Guardian where they are? Like, what is this? Like, this is insane. Like, I just like the fact that, like, when you get teleported in to those rooms, it's like it's done so quickly. I'm expecting to see like the classic, Destiny sort of, like, if we're going to transition you from one point in the room, like you go through a Vex portal. Okay, you go through a Vex portal, and then we do a massive bright white light on your screen, and we I'm gonna die here. Somehow I'm not pick up that little power. There we go. You have that massive sort of bright white light across the whole of the screen, and then you get like that sort of transitional sort of sound effect and things, and then you're obviously teleported into the other play space. But I just feel it's so cool that they've been able to sort of do that. And then okay, we're going to separate 3 Guardians. We're going to put them in separate, technically somewhat separate rooms. And I'm just thinking that's so cool. Like they've just like
So this is
how
the
they've like
Devil's
done that and how
Lair.
they made it work, and it's just so cool. Like I love it, man. I love that sort of stuff. You know, granted, like I say, I'm not the best at sort of dissecting. I'll use a cheat sheet, but I understand it, and I just love the fact that they just thought outside the box with it and gave it a whirl. And I mean, it was a lot of fun. And you know, the witness encounter itself, I thought that was pretty good. You know, I think, you know, everything's going crazy, and everybody has to kind of chip in, so to speak. And yes, okay, you can have ad clears and things and whatnot, but I like the whole fact when everybody sort of pulls together. And then of course, I always love when you get to just before the DPS section, you're on that middle plane, and just before the damage kicks in, the witness's eyes actually kind of navigate towards you, the players. And I think that's such a small detail. It goes such a long way, because every time the witness sort of turns his attention to you when it comes to damage, it's like I literally look at the witness and I feel like the witness is saying, "Fine, I'm gonna have to do this myself and try and take you Guardians down." And then of course then you get into like final stand, and you get the big climactic of you've got the tension of the violin strings kicking in for the witness trying to literally on the cusp of destroying everything, and then you've got the other part of the final stand complementing it with light and dark sort of going back and forth, and it's just such a cool such a cool thing. I mean, the excision mission on the other hand, the music in that is just, well, that's just a nostalgia trip, isn't it? It's just every sort of I want to say every sort of like 10 seconds is like a theme kicking in from the last 10 years or something. It's absolutely wild. And that's probably my 7th time I've missed a Witherhorse shot so far. I'm usually pretty accurate with these things, and I'm just maybe it's the pressure. Maybe the pressure's on because I'm live streaming. It's all a bit of fun at the end of the day. Damn, that was endgame. Well, yeah, it was. By God, I'm in my early 30s, and like I say, playing since D1 and beginning of D1, and by God, I was pretty much in tears when I got to like that final stand moment. I was like, probably all of us, including yourself and others, we've gone through sort of many years, not just within playing the game of Destiny, but also we've all grown up, etc. and whatnot. We've all moved, you know, we've all gone through 10 years of life, and you know, people, for me personally, there's some family members that are no longer with us, and ultimately I remember some family members interacting with me and saying, "Oh, what's going on with Destiny, etc. and whatnot, and things," and it's just sort of like, you know, oh, what's going on with that now these days, etc. and whatnot. But ultimately, it's just kind of, you look back on it as a story as a whole, and you think, yeah, there were some really high moments. Yeah, there were some really low moments in Destiny as a franchise, but consistently, that story has been pretty good. And through, man, to get that payoff after 10 years, like that big climactic moment was just, God, it was just so good. It was just so good. I feel sorry for the devs, man, though, because like they really have put their heart and soul into it, and you could see from some of the live streams and the tweets and things that some of these developers are doing, like they really wanted to like make the game as best it can be. And yeah, unfortunately, obviously, I mean, I'm no expert in business or anything like that, but I think we all know the story about Bungie and the sort of some of the upper leadership and things. So, but yeah, it's I'm glad they were able to make the final shape what it was, because it's a very good expansion. I just realised I got to reset my rank there, but I loaded into another one. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, because gosh, there's a few people that I know would have loved to have experienced the final shape, like, and just sort of seen that payoff. I've got family too. I used to have, I had two parents. Unfortunately, I were diagnosed terminally ill. One passed a few years ago. The other one passed back in 2012. you know, it's bereavement's a difficult thing to get over, and you know, realistically speaking, Destiny 2 has been personally for me, when I finish work or I hop on Destiny 2, that is kind of like the thing that keeps me sort of ticking, if that makes sense, you know, amongst other things in life. But Destiny 2 is kind of the thing that, hey man, don't apologize, don't apologize, all good. It's life in it, man. We've just gotta move forward. You know, in my downtime from work at the moment, I look after my grandmother who's 90, bless her. She's a very upbeat lady for 90 years of age. Obviously, as you can imagine, she's lost a loved one. I've lost a loved one, and so we're dealing with that over the last few years. But we both know that we can't stop. We gotta move forward. Because I think if you stop, then you know, it can really get a hold of you quite badly. So, you know, it happens, and such is life. We just got to try and move forward and keep going the best we can. And, yeah, it you know, it is, unfortunately, it is what it is. So, you know, keep moving. One foot in front of the other, I always say. And you know, when I wake up, I you know, off the back of obviously losing well, in this case, two parents to diagnosis and things, it's kind of like you get the information that, hey, it could probably a high probability that it could happen to you as well. I'm thinking, okay, well, you know, if that's the card that's been dealt for the future, when that eventual time comes, if that is going to be the case, then I'm going to do it on my terms as best as possible. So, yeah, no, you know, we just got to move forward and make the most of things. Try not to look back too much on it. Keep going, because at the end of the day, I don't think anyone. Absolutely, yeah, you do have to brave it for the one. Yeah, you do. At the end of the day, I mean, as you know, I'm no expert. I've always had two things in life I try and stand by. Treat others how you want to be treated. Honesty is the best policy. And I think, personally, trying to move forward and things, I think we have to move forward, because ultimately the family and friends that have been around in the past, you know, they've been there. There's been some wonderful memories for a lot of individuals, and effectively the last thing I would think that any of them would want us to do is for us to be in a position where we're constantly sort of upset or whatever. We just want to we want to try and move forward and keep putting one foot in front of the other, and taking each day as it comes. For me personally, I just try and take each day as it comes at the moment, even after sort of 2.5 years of losing a family member again. It's kind of like, just gotta take each day as it comes, and ultimately, you know, I wake up most of the days now and I go, you know, well, I've got 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, etc., 2 arms, whatever. You know, I've got a decent bit of health for the time being. But, you know, just gotta keep moving, and I think that's probably the best way to look at it, really. I'm no expert, so you know, take that information, do with it what you will. Sorry, that's my dyslexia kicking in there. Sometimes, like, the words come out and it's like, that's totally what I said, totally what I meant. It just got a bit jumbled there at the end. But no, I'm sorry to hear about the COVID and the friend in COVID. It's yeah, the COVID was just it's just so I don't know if I can swear on these things. So I'll keep it PG, as they say. It's real unfortunate that's happened, particularly around COVID, because it's just the whole world kind of locked down, everything was limited, people were just sort of like, you know, wondering about sort of livelihoods and finances and things, and I mean, a lot of people are still thinking that now. I mean, here in the UK, there's a cost of living crisis, so a lot of people, since coming out of COVID, have basically just constantly like monitoring their bills like a hawk. It's like, you know, sort of, I need to save money so that I can pay for fuel, and I mean, and in a sense of you know, gas and electricity and all that sort of stuff, and that's kind of been a big thing, particularly for me working in sort of customer service for an entertainment company. It's kind of like, you know, the tune here is yeah, oh, same in Canada, right? it's just sort of like, you know, like people are saying, I need to get this bill down. I'm looking at the monthly costs and stuff, and it's doing this, and I need to sort this out and that out. And it's just, yeah, like I'm going into sort of November now next month. I know my grandmother will probably come over and stay for several days during that time period, and I know the heating and electricity is going to be used quite a bit because she'll be here, and that's absolutely fine. It's got to be done. Make sure she's okay. And ultimately, I know for a fact that bill is going to go up. So I'm bracing for it. But you know, we've got to do it, and sadly I keep seeing those emails. I'm sure you probably see them from time to time. You know, it says, you know, oh hey Matt, you know, just let you know, if you don't, you know, your bills will go down soon. Yeah, your bills go down. I'm like, I'll believe that when I see it. Thank you very much. I still haven't seen it, to be honest. I've seen it partially, and then it went back up again. I'm like, okay then. So that didn't last too long then, did it? Oh, gosh. I never asked you, Cosmos, what when you do play Destiny, what sort of class do you tend to sort of prioritize? I mean, I personally, for me, I like I said, try to go hunting mainly just for that support vibe. Do you have a particular one? Are you sort of a hunter, a warlock, a titan? What's your go-to? Or do you go all of them? So jack of all trades. What do you usually go? Titan main. The puncher. Nice. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, Titans, man, they're getting. I feel. I'm not. Forgive me. Like I say, honesty is the best policy. I know Titans they've been a little bit on the side with a lot of the sort of the supers and abilities over the last few months, particularly since the final shape of Prismatic. And I just died. Great. Oh gosh. What a fail that is from me. I've done that several times and then I die there. Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm just going to blame that on lag. Totally not me. And I did it again. There we go.
You know what to do, Guardian.
Bonk. Yeah, bonk. Bonk. Yep. Hang on a second. I gotta get through here now. Oh, I'm joining allies. The game feels sorry for me. I'm joining allies. Okay. Titan Bonk, yeah, Bonk Hammer, man, I remember that stuff. Gosh, that was, I mean, that's still pretty potent, and I mean, you look at things like Consecration and stuff, isn't it? I mean, that's pretty much the, like, it's pretty, I'd probably say, I mean, I don't play Titan that much, like not as much as I play Hunter. But I think the whole sort of Consecration stuff is kind of almost, I want to say, kind of mandatory, nerfed, but still good. Yeah, definitely. I really want to see some changes with Titan. I think, you know, they just bring things up, and I mean, I'm glad they've done some of the stuff with the Hunter, still hunting stuff, because that was just absolutely busted. Still potent. I feel like if you look at like a scale of like 1 to 10 of like supers and abilities and things, everything was like kind of like a 7, and then you had like still hunter at like 12. It was just off the scale. So I think they brought that like back to like maybe like an 8 or 7. So I'm kind of happy with that. But ultimately, yeah, I feel like I'm looking forward to the Titan changes, because like they've said some stuff with I want to say Caress of the Falling Star and Thunder Crash. That's some stuff going on there. I want to say it's like melee energy or melee kills will give super energy or something. I could be wrong on that, so I apologise. But then there's other things then for Titan, like I want to say the Ice Form Mantle. I hear it is getting a bit of a significant adjustment, and I mean, just in time for the stasis artifact. Oh, what a surprise! So that should be a bit of fun. I do hope they do a bit more sort of stuff with Titan. I'm very happy that they've with the exotic class items, they've now done the barricade stuff for the, I want to say Hoarfrost, and I could be wrong, apologies. The Alpha Luffy stuff, the healing and whatnot, and all that sort of stuff. I think you can now, going forward, you can use your thrusters to activate it, rather than pop the barricades. I feel like that could be a nice change. They did open like that this week. Yes, yeah, I had a feeling it was something along those lines. I just couldn't quite remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm glad they're looking to make some changes. There's much needed changes to be honest. It's kind of a little bit concerning when you look at contest mode for Salvation's Edge, and I think there was only a few Titans that completed it. So yeah, I'm glad they're sort of bringing up the whole Titan stuff. I'm not sure what PvP is going to be like. I've dabbled in a bit of PvP over the years. I'm not perfect, I'm not particularly good, I just try my best to see how it goes. And I think now that Prismatic Hunter is kind of getting a few tweaks, I'm not going to lie, I'm dreading I've always dreaded it, what's it called, the stasis crystal thingy, yeah, I'll figure it out. Stasis crystal. It's the one where you just slam into them and you basically freeze them and get a free melee kill on PvP. It just really annoys me. I want to say something. I'll find out what it is. Compare it with like knockout and oh my god, that's a water there. God, I'm really playing badly today. What is he at me? Oh. Shows how long I've done this battleground since. Bleakwatcher, that's for Warlock. It's... I'll find it now, bear with me. I had it on a... I had it written down somewhere.
Did all unfold as you foresaw?
Did I? Not all. I carry sorrow for
that's it.
sacrifice. The details are never exact, but I am assured this
Diamond
path will lead us
Lance.
through the storm. Despite
Diamond
the
Lance
cost.
with Shiver Strike. That
Both suffered losses for the
is
potential
going
of a
to
better
be...
future.
Ugh, God. I don't
Let
even
us hope
want to think about it.
probability is in our
Shatter
favor.
Dice or Hunter? Yeah, I think it's Diamond Lance with Shiver Strike on Titan. Just jump up into the air, hold your powered melee, go slamming into a nearby enemy. If you freeze them, at the moment, it's something like in the code where if you do the powered melee, Shiver Strike, and Diamond Lance on Titan, jump up into the air, you do the powered melee towards a player. If you can't make contact with them, you freeze them. But then if you immediately spam melee immediately after, there is no physical counter to that right now in the game. Don't know if that's changing. I hope it is. But I just... you just can't counter it in PvP. It's so annoying. But then, on the flip side, Prismatic Hunter right now is just bonkers in terms of sort of the toolkit that thing does. Prismatic Hunter is just ridiculous. It's like you're telling me I can throw a smoke bomb, disorientate you, then get radiant, and I don't have to pick up an overpower to get radiant. I just throw a smoke bomb. It feels so wrong. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've been playing with a couple of Titan builds recently. I mean, obviously the classic is Synthecept, but I've got fortunately got a Remember the PvP hell. Yep. Oh yes, PvP hell. Oh, yeah. I dabbled in a little bit of comp. I was, again, just like the seasonal challenges, I was teetering on getting into Adept. and I've let it slip. I was after some roses. I'm like plat 2 now because I've just let it slip. And I play the 3 games, log on, play the 3 games, and that's it, sort of thing. And a couple of friends jumped in to play a couple of games. You know, nothing fancy. You know, win a few games, lose a few games, is what it is. And like, I feel like I missed the boat with a couple of games of comp this season, because of course by the end of the season, no one's playing comp except for the sweats by the end of the season, because everybody's gone on to do other things. And of course then a hard meta had already been established. I meant Shadow Dive before the nerf. Oh, okay. I have to check that out. Cause I suppose actually stasis would be pretty booming with. I'm meaning to try it out. I put together a where has it gone? Put together this build for to give PvP a whirl. It is a stasis Baccaris build. I used to use Baccaris back in the day. In fact, Baccaris a couple of years ago was the first. I remember using it. It took me flawless first time, which was pretty cool. I just love the dodge on it, but they've changed it now, so that you do the dodge and then you get like a big damage boost. I think they changed it a while back, but like I say, I haven't used it in God knows how long. And effectively what I've done it is, now I'm terrible with 120s. I find that 120s are they've got the high skill gap, the high skill ceiling. So you land your shots, you're going to be rewarded to a certain degree. If you miss a shot, you can kind of kiss your ass goodbye. Effectively, you've got these perks now, of course, as you probably know, like Precision Instrument Enhanced, which basically like buffs your damage for each time you're sort of stacking that damage up. And for me, I don't know, it feels like Precision Instrument on a lot of these guns have always been like the missing piece of a jigsaw puzzle. I'm terrible with 120s. I know I am. But I feel like when you pair a 120 with Precision Instrument and then you pair it with this right there, the damage output from a 120 is able, from my understanding, proc this fragment quicker. So effectively, then what happens if you think of like a scale with 2 weights on either side? One side of the weight of the scales is the outgoing damage from the other player, and the other part of the scale is your damage, your damage, being affected or going up. Maybe a scale is not the best representation, but effectively, as you land those like 1 or 2 shots, your enemy player's damage is going down, and your damage is going up, because obviously Precision Instrument is stacking. Precision Instrument obviously applies I think I want to say it applies some sort of sustained damage. So this, I think, a 120 with Precision Instrument is always kind of notoriously known for landing sort of two crits, 1 body. But then when you get those Precision Instruments and the Facet of Solitude perk, you can really get some good two hit sort of crit kills. And like I say, I'm notoriously terrible with 120s, and like I say, PvP is not my strongest suit. Yeah, over the course of 10 years, I've had some great games, some bad games. Some days I'll have good days. Some days I'll be terrible. I'll be the worst player in the world. I'll have more bad games than good games. But whatever works. And if you ever get this Fang, either something Fang with Precision Instrument, this thing is. I swear by this. I see people using Red Death. I see people using other stuff. I do enjoy this. I'm no expert, but by gosh, the recoil pattern on this is if you aim for the chest, because I'm a sucker. I aim for the body more than the head a lot of the time in PvP. I feel like if you aim for the chest on this particular gun, the recoil is so minimal that it pushes the aim up to the head. So of course your precision instrument damage buff is stacking with each hit that you land. So by the time you hit the head, you've effectively got like ×3 or ×4. Then if you get the kill and you swap to another target immediately next to them, they're about to get the full force of like precision instrument ×4, and it stacks up to something like ×6. So if you ever get a Fang, just give a precision instrument enhanced roll a go in PvP with counterbalance stock and this sort of stuff. I've had a lot of fun with it, and there should be pretty much a 2-tap. Yeah. If again, I'm a shameless plug from me. The content I put on this YouTube channel is literally more of archive sort of stuff, and I post bits and bobs now and again, you know, and stuff. And there's a clip on this YouTube channel. It's unedited, unfiltered. Most of the content on here is unfiltered, unedited. Like I say, I've got aspirations to sort of do this more frequently. Like I say, today was with this test stream is more of a sort of a rough sort of test the waters, of course. And there's a clip on this YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken, and it should say something like Fang of Eru, Iron Banner, and there's a clip in there, and that role is with rewind rounds precision instrument, but I think the precision instrument enhanced speaks for itself. It's just so, once you get that thing going, whoa, it goes, and I think that's the ticket with some of these weapons, is that particularly this 120 thing is just like, this has been the jigsaw piece of the puzzle for me that has made me appreciate the 120 skill a bit more. It's dropped that skill ceiling down a bit for me. I'm still trying to give Rose a go a bit more. I do like that, but yeah. Yeah, I've got to clean this postmaster. Just bear with me a moment here. You do not know how many times I have gone to do little spoil runs, and I've then like ripped a few engrams in the tower, and then boom, it's like, it's just completely sort of, oh, your postmaster's out of space. And I'm like, okay, I'll go over to my postmaster. I'm like, where are my 35 spoils gone? It's like, no. That's not bad, Orpheus. But then again, I do have an Orpheus on already, so Orpheus available, so I'm all good. I got a couple of builds lined up. This is kind of my go-to at the moment. Sort of like just my usual sort of Orpheus rig. I like having these bolstering detonations, because I just feel like the uptime on grenade energy, you just get that class ability back even quicker. I know the difference between 90 and 100 is, you know, quite minuscule for returning that dodge, but it's always nice just to have a little bit more potency into the build. I always like having recuperation, just because I feel like that extra safety net with, you know, when dodging, you get those orbs, you get a nice little shield, health bump. I swear by Word of Crower. I wasn't a fan of hand cannons a couple of years ago. Then I don't know why this shows this. This is actually this is Akurai's rounds here on this particular roll. I love this combo. I love this combo. It is it has gotten me out of jail so many times in high-end content. It's like a safe pair of hands you can rely on in lots of content. I just feel like if my back's up against the wall, I need to make a play. If I get that kill, I get the volatile, and then I get a kill with this. It's like, okay, boom, I've got that shield, I've got that overshield. I think as well, correct me if I'm wrong, but overshields now are are getting a sorry, Void Overshield itself as a whole is getting a global health bump. So I think it went from like, I want to say like 25 to maybe like now we're getting like 45 HP or something, if not more. So that's a really cool, nice addition. Always like to run with the Horde, and I mean, you know, GLs next season, can't go wrong. Intrigued to try that Stasis one out. That looks pretty cool from the live stream. But this is the build here. I like to run a lot of anything to keep me invisible and just team invisible, Trapper's Ambush, Weaken. Lots of sort of Void Breach and Devour stuff. Extra sort of extensions on things. Yeah, just lots of Void Breach orientations, and then another. This Echo of Obscurity is basically just like a get out of jail, I find. I avoid PvP pretty much, just Pinnacle matches if I was not a fan. Yeah, no, agree. I try and play it now and again, PvP, but I don't play it frequently as much. I just play. I play PvE. I'm a PvE player more than I am a PvP player. You'll only see me playing PvP if I'm really after a gun. Like a weekly Rose attempt or something maybe in trials, you know, God forbid. So like the only time that you'll see me play trials next season is for that hand cannon, and that's it. I'll be so annoyed and stressed out from trials that one weekend that I'll put me off for the rest of the season. That's it. Get in and get out. That's what I say for trials. Get in, get out. Oh God. That almost feels like too much already. But no. This is probably going to be some form of the build I take in with me to the dungeon. To be honest, I feel like a nice sort of safe sort of survivability sort of thing is good there. Got some sort of other options here just to sort of add clear and whatnot. And then I think there's a few other ones. I need to work on this Lucky Pants one, to be honest. I haven't really changed it much since Final Shape came in. Didn't really spec much into it. Got a usual Still Hunt one. I need to revisit. That's my Void one that I'm gonna probably take in with me. I need to revisit this one here, which is the an old Omnioculus. This one was from when Solar. It was like Solar Rapid Hits or something. Solar Precision Hits give you Radiant, because that was why I was running Callus Mini Tool on this particular loadout to some degree. But this was always a good one. I always enjoyed this. It's just full on Omnioculus team support, and in fact all of the Omnioculus stuff, or this particular build, I then kind of I had a really old Orpheus rig build, and I basically used this Omnioculus build. I really connected with it, and then I just basically transferred this whole toolkit, as you can see, is kind of identical, and I transferred it onto my Orpheus one, and it just works. It's like, yes, that's what I wanted to do. It's like, I think this could work, and then you just start playing around with it. It's like, yeah, it works. So it's a really good bit of fun. And I mean, this one, and of course, this one as well, they hold up in everything, like contest mode, the lot. It's a safe pair of hands. I know a lot of people, they'll run obviously Prismatic because that's the hot thing right now. And that's absolutely cool. Like, I've got this was always the one I wanted, the Galanor Grypharkin, because I wanted to try and get that Orpheus rig type feeling with Galanor returning the super energy, and then I wanted to have the whole volatile round thing for a bit of overkill. But I haven't. I need to play around with it a bit more. I feel the concept is there. I feel the thought process is there. I just need to make it sing a bit more, because I do want to have that. I do want to have that flexibility with being able to go invisible on my terms, and I just need to work on that a bit more with this particular build. This one I'm having really lot. This one's really surprised me. This particular build. What have you popped? What have you said there, brother? Ah, right, I can see that now. Sorry, my brother. PvP, I let him borrow my account for carries when I needed some good guns and trials. Yeah, no, hey, I respect that. nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You know. I feel like some of the guns they put behind trials, like some of them are PvP. Some of them are PvP. Okay, sure, but some of them are pretty good for PvE, and I feel like there's got to be more ways to obtain that. You can't be locking that behind a game mode and expect people to sort of like spend countless hours trying to obtain something. I will say one of the changes they made a while back was something like if you just play on the weekend or something, any weapon that drops, whatever the whatever the weekend weapon is, that's the only weapon that can drop post match. I think that's a cool little change, but again, they really need to do more. I like the fact that they have said that they're going to try and incentivize more people to play through, making it less feel of like a I must go flawless or why have I wasted my time sort of vibe. They want to try and make it more rewarding for the whole duration of the run. So the proof is in the pudding, and we shall see. But yeah, Trials is a rocky road right now. I'm afraid it is a definite slippery slope. Trials, I find. Like I say, I've had my fair share of highs and lows with Trials over the years. I'm not a perfect player. Nor am I a good player. I've had more bad games than good games. But yeah, like that PvP stuff, I'll be playing that like religiously if there's a weapon that I really want behind it. Otherwise, you'll find me in PvE orientations and stuff. You know, this gilded stuff here is literally a case of, like I was mentioned to you earlier about the seasonal challenges. I mostly do PvE Sherpas for raids and dungeons and stuff in a Discord group. And it was like the other day I came on here, I had 5 challenges left to do, and I thought, well, I was going to play Remnant 2 for 2 weeks, but I guess I'll do these 5 challenges. So here I am. So yeah, no, but again, no, it just it is there. But let me just have a little look. Let's have a look here. This is a nice build. I've been a lot of fun with it. In most light syntheseps. I'm not sure how you guys do it, but loading into the same map for a whole weekend, I'd rather play Mario Kart. Yeah, no, I respect that. I respect that. Mario Kart, I do enjoy a bit of Mario Kart. I'll admit, I was more of a Crash Team Racing, as they say. Crash Team Racing from back in the day. It's like I want to say it was like PS2 era. PS2, yeah, it definitely wasn't on PS3. They remade it about a few years ago. They remade it for like PS4, I think, or something like that. But yeah, I always loved the racing game, those type of racing games, the kart games. They're just really accessible, really well, good to get into. Yeah, Mario Kart was a lot of fun. I had a friend of mine who would play it religiously. But yeah, I was a CTR Crash Team Racing guy as well. I was on the Crash Bandicoot vibe in the late 90s. I was just, yeah, I was on that vibe with that game. I enjoyed it.
Greetings.
Oh, I got an exotic Engram. Let's go. I know what I'll do. I'll switch to my Titan, because I want to try and get a nice full mantle for next season. Before I switch over to Titan. This is a nice build. If you ever get a chance, if you ever get an Inmost Light Syntheseps roll on Hunter, this particular sort of combination, Firepower, Heavy-Handed, Powerful Attraction, Reaper, the usual sort of stuff there, Recuperation. You got a strand, any sort of strand or darkness weapon with Demolitionist, and then Buried Bloodline. Ideally a primary, not like a special. I mean, you can run special if you want to, really want to, but a primary ideally. And then I've got Buried Bloodline, and effectively what's happening here in this sequence is that you are throwing your shurikens to get Radiant and Team Radiant. You grapple melee with Syntheseps. You get bonus damage on the punch for Syntheseps when you grapple melee. that obviously procs a combination of volatile rounds and unraveling rounds, which obviously gives you transcendence a lot quicker. Obviously, when you get a grapple melee kill, drops an orb of power because you've got firepower and heavy-handed on. So you get, obviously, as soon as you get that grapple kill, you get an orb of power at your location, and then it goes from there. Still have my Nintendo console, first generation, play Mario on it. Did over the end of the year. Oh, that's good. I like that. It's cool. First generation. Gosh, it's a piece of history right there. I'm amazed sometimes. I don't know about you. I'm amazed when I see those sort of like stories you see online of, like, you know, old like classic console goes for X amount of money, and I'm like, how much? Like, what? What's going on? Like, how much is it going for? And I suppose, you know, with technology and stuff improving over the years, nostalgia is such a powerful thing. I mean, heck, we've experienced it with the Final Shape, where, you know, sort of like the whole 10-year journey, nostalgia and stuff and things. But yeah, it's I look back on some of the consoles and things, you know, and wonder, you know, how much would that go for? How much would that go for? You see these stories like, you know, console goes for XYZ amount, and like, gosh, that's a lot of money. I wonder if I've got that old console in the attic still in good condition. It's probably rotten away or something like that by now, but one can hope.
I am at your service. But prepared so you will be victorious.
I heard they wired the brain right into a ship. Some kind of...
Right, let's see if we get an Icefall Mantle, because I've heard they're doing a lot of
The barter is warranted.
a lot of buffs to Icefall Mantle next season. Let's have a look. Where is it? It's been so long I can't remember what the actual icon looks like. Oh, there it is. Icefall Mantle. Pray to the Bungie RNG gods.
This war is a complicated algorithm, to be certain.
Okay. Somewhat usable. Yeah. Could be better though. Could be a lot better, but definitely usable. At least it was a high resilience stat, I suppose. Gosh, I need to sort my weapons on my Titan. Until I have not played my Titan in a long time. I think I probably just got a bit. I'll admit, I just probably got a bit bored. Yeah, usable. Yeah, definitely. I ain't getting rid of that. I am definitely not getting rid of that. Right, I better not look at shaders, because I know I can spend ages on shaders, and I don't want to waste your time. Otherwise, I could be here for ages. Like, oh, does that shader look good? Nah, let me change the next one. Oh, okay, yeah, that shade looks good. Oh no, I'll try another one. This is the current sort of consecration vibe thing I got going on right now with Titan. It's been pretty fun. I love this. I don't know if you've got one of these ergo summons with Arc Conductor. It's pretty fun. Just sort of that whole shield whole shield sort of that goes around your character and just gives you the arc sort of lightning stuff. It's a lot of fun in a lot of content, but yeah, good bit of fun that. I'm looking forward to the Titan changes, because I just like the fact that like Twilight Arsenal can weaken the targets. Like that's been pretty good, and just the whole essence of being able to pick them up is a lot of fun as well. It's been a lot of fun. Right, let's do another strike, and then I will probably, because it is midnight here in the UK, and I came home and I jumped on for a bit after work. I've been sort of doing about 10 and a half, 11 hours. I will probably end the test stream after this strike, just to let you know. Yeah, I'll give this a run on Titan now and see what's going on. I did reset my rank, didn't I? I did, yeah. There we go. Yeah. Let's give this a whirl. I have a love-hate relationship with consecration. Sometimes I find that I don't know about you, but I feel like when you do the whole like animation of going up and then down. I just feel like maybe they've done it to balance it out because it's very powerful, but I just wish that there was a little bit more movement when you do the animation and you go up. And I feel like there would be I just feel like there should be like just a tiny little bit of movement there, so I can just reposition a bit more quicker, and then slam. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they've done it for balancing reasons or something. I suppose actually, if you think about it, if you were to sort of do the whole animation to go up and then you quickly turn 90 degrees in PvP, someone could be like, oh come on, yeah, that's not fair. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's a balancing issue. I just feel like the animation of consecration going up and down, I just wish there was just a little bit more movement there. But you know, we can't have it all. X just crashed. This is the one they brought back this season.
The captain enjoys dismantling backs.
Bringing back Inverted Spire, I believe, next season.
Are we rubbing off on you, fail-safe?
Not really. I've got plenty of motivation to destroy facts.
One enemy with consecration overkill. Nah, it's the Titan way. Just gotta kill everything with power melees. Whoever made these fallen shanks with freezing things around them needs to take a look in the mirror and discuss their life choices. I feel like whoever made the shanks with those stasis freezing properties around them needs to there's a cold place in hell for them. Just kidding. Here's the Strand Titan with the 1-2 punch shotty and Sinto. No problem. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Cosmos. Like I say, I really appreciate it. Like I say, I'm gonna run up this strike, and then I'll probably end the stream from here. So, again, really do appreciate you stopping by. Again, this was just supposed to be a sort of a test thing, but the fact you just tuned in for a bit and spent a bit of time here this evening here is really appreciative. So, again, thank you so much for your time, buddy, and take care. And in terms of if you ever want to stop by in the future, realistically speaking, I'm aiming to try and do a little bit more of these every now and again. I don't have an exact time frame. My ideal scenario is that I want to be able to get something like this up and running for the dungeon when that launches. I'm in conversation with the two people that I'm running the dungeon with, and I'm hoping that I can get some form of communication with them so that we can have not just my audio coming through, my voice, but potentially theirs as well. Trying to work out a few of that bits and bobs with that. If it's just my voice coming through, then we'll have to make do with my voice. So you have to put up with me. but no, I hope to be in a position to run a live stream around the dungeon. So I may prematurely run another another test live stream prior to that. But realistically speaking, I'm just aiming now for the dungeon launch, just to get that up and running. And chances are, the dungeon goes live at reset. That is about 6 p.m. UK time. I finish work at about 3 p.m. a couple of hours prior. So I'd be probably putting the live stream on at maybe half an hour before the reset. Again, providing there's no technical issues or anything like that, because technology can have its issues, as we all know. But yeah, if I do get something up and running for the live stream, feel free to swing by. I'll try and chime in with a couple of words if you do pop in and say hello. But again, really do appreciate you stopping by and just taking a small moment, a small bit of time out of your day to interact here on the live stream. And yeah, really do appreciate that, man. And if I don't hear from you or I don't speak to you in the future, wishing you all the best and take care and enjoy the rest of your day. But hopefully, when that dungeon stream happens, I see you pop in and maybe say hello or something. But no worries if not. So it's been lovely to speak to you, and hope you enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
Pick up that charge, Guardian. Let's see what we can do with it. tower's down. Tough to see. Wait. Something's lurking above us. What was that?
Don't fight blind, Guardian. Bring down that stealth field.
Do you think House Salvation found what they were looking for?
I do not think so. We would know if they had.
Still, how did they learn about the upheaval on Nessus?
It's nearly impossible to hide tectonic activity across an entire planet. Believe me, I tried.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. If you're watching this in the future, thank you for watching to the end of the video. Again, this has been a test stream just to see if, testing the waters, to see if video and audio holds up for potentially some future live streams on this channel. The view is that, the aim rather, is to try and just get a couple of these going in the near future. Ultimately regarding Destiny 2 and a few other potential other games. Again, the idea behind this is that hopefully I'll be in a position where the upcoming episode Revenant for Destiny 2, which launches on Tuesday the 8th of October, approximately a few days after that, on Friday the 11th of October, there will be a new dungeon called Vesper's Host, which will feature contest mode. Contest mode is a difficulty modifier that lasts for 48 hours, which is generally exclusive to new raids for the first 48 hours, where your outgoing damage that you deal is reduced, and your incoming damage from enemies is increased. So there's a challenge of survivability there around the content for 48 hours. So effectively, the idea is that myself and two other members of my fire team will go into the dungeon on Friday, the 11th of October, for the first time, with no information on the dungeon, no guides whatsoever, and effectively go in and see if we can complete it under the difficulty modifier. So yeah, this has just been a test stream, and if you've tuned in, thank you very much. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking a moment out of your day to stop by, say hello, or even if it is just for a moment or two, just to sort of see what's going on here. Even if you've tuned in for 30 seconds or a minute or even more, I'm very grateful for that. So thank you very much, and thank you for any advice any of you put in the chat, or any comments or anything like that on this video. Again, this has been a complete sort of test stream. There's nothing behind this other than just to see if we've got sort of the tools to be able to facilitate something like this for the near future. So again, thank you so much for just checking it out in any way, shape or form. And yeah, I'm going to sign off now. Again, my name is Matt, also known as Big Matty T. And yeah, I hope to have some sort of stream going on Friday, the 11th of October. So take care and enjoy the rest of your day. And bye for now. Take care.